I'm good with this gun. Good gun.
Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed by the title and the intro, we are going over this pistol today. This is the brand new, as of when I'm recording this video, Sig P322. So obviously, as the name indicates, and as you probably saw from the rounds flying in the air in the intro, this is a 22 caliber pistol. It's relatively full size. And one very cool thing about it is that the magazines, which it comes with two, are 20 rounds in terms of capacity. I'm sure there will be band state compliant versions coming out, but for folks who live in semi-free states, there are 20 rounds in each mag. So that definitely is cool. And essentially, as you guys can tell, it very much so follows the contour lines of a Sig P320. And we have a lot of the same features. So with that, let's get up close and personal on this gun, go over some of those details, and then at the end we'll sort of walk you through how it's performed and what I think of it. Before we jump into the details, we'll make sure it is clear. We'll hit our magazine release button there. Magazine rather will come out. You guys can see there, 20 round capacity, has that spring assist for loading. I'll tell you, it's very easy to load until you get to about the 19th or 20 round. Then that little thing there does kind of come in handy. That's also something that weaker folks or folks with hand strength issues are definitely going to dig. And then getting into the grip itself, you'll see we have a generously flared magwell. I wish there was a lot of center fired guns that had a flared magwell like that. Reloads are very, very easy. Grip angle there, very similar to a 1911. Is that good texturing on there, and on the back strap and front strap it's a little bit more aggressive. Not that you'd really need it with a 22 caliber pistol, but it definitely stays locked very, very firmly in your hands. Continuing on up there, we do have our safety, so that way if you want a safety on, you can do so. If not, you can just ignore it. And then continuing forward, we have our ambidextrous slide lock and slide release there, as you can see. And then we have our takedown lever. Trigger it comes with the flat trigger shoe. However, you also get the option to put a more traditional rounded one on there. It comes in the box, you can swap them out. Trigger guard there, relatively large, especially for a 22. With most of your gloves, you're going to be able to get in there just fine. And then we have that nice undercut there to get nice and high on the pistol, as we talked about. This thing is not going anywhere in your hands if you know what you're doing. Very, very flat shooting, as you would expect. Continuing forward, we have our 1913 rail, so you can add lights, lasers, accessories on there. And then we have our adjustable rear sight. So we have our fiber optics, as you guys can see, and they're shrouded fiber optics, which is nice. So a lot of times the fiber optic sights, they can get broken or come out for whatever reason. Those shrouds on there should help prevent that. The same is true there for the front sight. Very, very easy to pick up and acquire. And the dot on the front sight is larger than the rear, which helps you kind of tell which one you're looking at when you're lining up your sights. As I'm sure many of you noticed, we do have the threaded barrel adapter on there. Now it comes with a non-threaded barrel from the factory, but it's very easy to swap out. So all you do is just lock your slide back, and you can see we have these wrench flats right here. Get yourself a wrench, remove it, the original one that comes flush fit to the front of the slide, and then put this one on there, and then we have our 1/2 by 28 threads on there for using the silencer of your choice. And one thing that's nice about having this barrel length on your pistol is that virtually all 22 ammo is going to be subsonic. Because I have the threaded barrel adapter on there, I won't be able to fully disassemble it, but I'll show you how the process is done. It's pretty darn simple. And if you guys want a cleaning and lubrication video on this gun, let me know. Again, we're going to drop our slide, make sure we are clear. At this point we are. Rotate our lever up, and at this point you're going to pull back and up. And again, if that threaded barrel portion wasn't on there, it would have just slid right off. And of course you can see we have our fixed barrel with spring that goes around it, and then of course to put it back together is the exact opposite process. Now that you've looked at it up close and personal, there's a few things I want to get out of the way before we close the video out, because we certainly are losing light. As you can probably see, the camera makes it look brighter than it is. First off, our rear sight here is removable, and you can run an optic, as you guys have probably already seen. It's going to be a very common optic footprint for compact pistols. I was running the Sig one earlier, but others will fit it as well. Depending on the optic, sometimes you will lose your rear sight. Some of the smaller optics have the rear sight in there, so just choose accordingly. Trigger pull on this one, again, we're going to make sure it's unloaded with 22s. As a general rule, you don't want to do a ton of dry firing, but it's okay here and there. It is an internal hammer gun, so the hammer is right back here in the rear. When you disassemble it, you will see it immediately. And so We have some sponginess here, as you guys can see, and then hopefully I'll get it lined up on my car there where you can actually see the brake, truck rather, and it brakes, and that's the reset. So sponginess, I went through the wall. Sponginess, that's a good sign. Sponginess, wall, it's very crisp. That's why I keep going through it. And it brakes very, right there. Reset is super positive as well. It's a long reset for sure, but in terms of accuracy, I've had zero issues from a practical standpoint, and it's not just myself. Everyone I've handed this pistol to so far has been able to shoot it extremely well. What do you think?
Yeah, girl. Yeah. Making it ring, making it ring. Well, that one's easy.
Which is a function of a couple things. Number one, it's a good pistol overall. The barrel itself is accurate. The sighting setup is accurate. There's very little recoil, so the fact that influences accuracy with that is that most people, when they miss with pistols, it's because they're flinching of some sort. 22s tend to minimize flinching, and it's just, again, it's a super easy gun to shoot well, whether with an optic or just the iron sights. Price point on these, Sig doesn't announce MSRPs anymore for some reason, but street price, depending on when you actually look for it, is going to be somewhere in the 400s, low 400s, mid 400s, depending on demand. And as of when I'm releasing this video, it has already been shipping to distributors for a couple days, so it should be in store shelves as you're watching this, or if not, within a day or two. So that is the price point on it. In terms of reliability, the majority of what we put through this was 40 grain Federal and 40 grain Remington, just bulk stuff, nothing fancy. Generally, I think both of them are right around 1,200 to 1,250 feet per second in terms of their power rating, their velocity rating. Of course, you're not going to get this out of that velocity, rather out of this barrel. But with that type of energy, it ran very reliably. We put around 300 rounds of combined those two loadings through it and had one malfunction. It was just a failure to feed. And then I ran some Aguila 30 grain, which is a lighter caliber load and obviously has a much higher velocity. For whatever reason, it did not like that load, but that's a lot of 22s are like that. They tend to be ammo picky, but with the bulk 40 grain stuff, which is the majority of the 22 out there in the country, it's ran very, very well for a rimfire gun. Aguila 30 grain. Didn't like that load, apparently. Overall, I like it. It's going to be a gun that I hand to people who are new to shooting, who I'm trying to teach different techniques to, who want to save some money. There's a lot of reasons why I would break this out. And additionally, if you do run a silencer on it, again, almost all rounds are going to be subsonic, so it's very, very quiet as well for things that you want to be quiet with, right? Whatever those kind of things are in your life, it gives you that option, which certainly is nice. Obviously, we have the Biddy on there. It's not the quietest silencer out there, but if you put, your standard 4 to 6 inch 22 can on there, it's going to be very, very quiet, which certainly is nice. So with that, I think we've covered all of the important points on the pistol. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can post them down below. Full disclosure, obviously Sig did send this out to me, which is why I've had it before it was released to the public. But they don't get a first look at the video. They don't really have any input at what I say or anything like that, and they're not paying me to do the video. So there is that. If you like this type of video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you can go ahead and hit the notification bell. If you've done that already and you're still not, you can sign up for my email list that you see at the website here on your screen. That email will go out once a month at most, and it just has all the videos since my last email went out, so that way there's no big tech censoring your eyes from my content. Additionally, if this goes on sale or optics for it or ammo for it or any of those sorts of things, you can sign up for my daily deals email where those will be sent out daily, as the name indicates. and that has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet, and it goes out every day, as I said. And if it's in the email, it is the best price that I know of on that day anywhere on the internet. So that way you guys save yourself some money and you save yourself some time, because you don't have to go looking, because I've already done it for you. And with that, we will close the video out. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.